Good morning, everyone. My name is Jack Mizell, and this is the interview portion of our Breakfast Club. And today we're very pleased to have with us Mr. Jerry Welch, who is in Wisconsin, I believe, and he's written a book called CORPORACRACY. I hope I'm saying that right, Mr. Welch. Good morning, sir. You okay?
I am fine, thank you.
Good. Well,
nice talking to you, Jack.
Thank you. Let's see, you are in Wisconsin, right?
Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison, man. What's the temperature out there?
News lately.
Right now? Is everything comfortable out there? Is the weather good?
The weather is terrible.
Uh-oh.
We're in severe drought.
Uh-oh.
We're enjoying the sunshine, but not the dryness.
Well, are y'all below your natural yearly rainfall amount, or when you say a drought, has it been going on for a while, or years, or what?
Yeah, we've actually been declared in a severe drought status.
Well, I want to get you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came about writing the book and the content of the book and how do we go about getting it and that kind of stuff. So if you will, in Madison, what do you do? Are you a professor or what?
No, I don't have an academic background as such, but I'm elderly and have lived a life full of observations. What prompted this is at the age of 70, I was put in jail for challenging a municipal judge.
What do you do? Hold you in contempt?
But they put my son in jail with me for doing nothing other than refusing to give his name to the judge.
Wow. Let's see. Now, is that the basis for this particular book you've written, or?
That was the basis for my first book, Welcome to Reality, which. Okay. That incident prompted me to write it. It also prompted me to do a lot of research on corporations and enlightened me as to the fact that when I was dealing with that judge, I was actually dealing with a corporation. And most people just either don't realize it or don't take the time to investigate, but all our cities and villages are actually corporations issued a charter by the state.
Right, now let's stop just a minute. What is a corporation? Could you, there's a thing called LLCs and pass-through stuff. So can you define what a corporation is, please?
Well, a corporation is defined in the dictionary, I believe, is a body of assembled people in commerce with a board and president and various officers. What it is not is a person, and I think you can relate to the recent ruling that corporations, in essence, are a person.
Right now, the recent ruling was it they are a person, or not a person?
The ruling in the Supreme Court was, in essence, saying that they were allowed the same rights as a person.
Well, the thing is, excuse me, you can go up and shake hands with a person, but who do you shake hands with? A corporation?
You've got it, Jack. That's exactly right. I couldn't have said it better.
Well, if a corporation acts like a person, when you go into it, did you say in a municipal court, what corporation walks into the court? I mean, how do you recognize that they're a corporation?
Well, it's hard to recognize it as a corporation because most people think of our cities as government.
Well, what does a corporation look like? I'm trying to get it fixed in my mind. If they have the same privileges and responsibilities of a person, are they responsible for breathing and making sure?
No, they're actually an entity created for commerce.
So they're dead. We don't see where they are because they're in the grave, right?
Well, what's the phenomena here is that through their leadership has actually taken.
I'm beginning to get
Let me put it this way: corporacracy is all about the form that leadership is taking.
So
and that form is through the corporation.
If a corporation
so the leaders in the corporation are basically telling our government, they're electing our representatives, and they're telling our government how to operate.
Okay, let me see if I understand. If you're saying the municipal government is a corporation and your county government, your state government, then the Congress must be a corporation. And so when the Supreme Court Chief Justice hands down a ruling, is that ruling a part of the Constitution or is that a part of the corporation? Because he must be a director and a judge. What do you think?
The way it's evolving, you could almost rationalize that it's becoming part of corporacracy. It's just, let me get this straight in my mind here, but corporacracy, again, is about leadership. It's about how it's evolved as an omnipresent factor in everybody's life. You played the news prior to my actually coming on here, and it dealt with the uniforms for the Olympics, which is a typical example. That didn't come about by you and I or as a democratic government. It came about through the corporacracy or the corporations that sent it over to China to build our uniforms because it was profitable to do so.
Mm-hmm. It was a commercial issue. I don't know if
that makes sense, but it makes sense to me.
Okay. So it was a commercial operation, right? And the decision was made on the lowest bidder, so to speak. Is that right?
That's pretty much what it amounts to.
Okay.
Everything in politics, you have conflict, and you have conflict between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. There are nothing but corporations duking it out at the expense of the American people.
All right. Now, how does corporations impact on our daily lives? Is Walmart a corporation? What do you think?
Oh, certainly Walmart is a corporation.
Okay, now...
Almost everything in your life and my life is a corporation.
Wait just a minute. Now, are you saying it was a corporation that built my car that I ride around in?
Well, certainly.
Okay, well, the question is, what does that corporation look like? I want to go and shake hands with it.
Lots of luck. We'd all like to not shake hands with it, but wring the necks of it.
Okay. Well, look, let's go back to the municipal judge, and you were thrown in jail. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. Were you held in contempt of court? Basically,
that's correct.
Okay. How long did you stay in jail?
It was he banged the gavel and said 10 days. He convened his court a week later and brought us back. Of course, we were to have learned our lesson and be humble in front of him.
Well, what was it he asked you to do that you didn't do that resulted in you being imprisoned?
It's kind of a long story. It's brought out in my book, Welcome to Reality.
Okay.
Basically, we were challenging his authority in a sense. That's about the gist of it. And he didn't like that and put us in jail.
Okay, now you bring up a big issue now. A corporation is supposed to be able to exist, if I understand it right, only by consent. And yet this judge used coercion on you, and that's something a judge can't do. I mean, 'cause it has to have your consent. If you didn't consent, I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, that's unconstitutional to act through coercion.
Of course.
Well,
exactly.
Are you saying that the oath that the judge took doesn't mean anything? He said he would uphold the Constitution.
You're bringing it home.
Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to follow what your thinking is. So what was the result when he called you back in after a number of days and thought you had learned your lesson? What happened then?
Obviously, I was in a position where I had to do whatever the judge said. I did manage to find an attorney, an honest attorney, who was proficient in resolving conflict rather than creating conflict. And he settled the matter.
Okay. So you were able to return to freedom, so to speak.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you brought up about your son. Now, this is a different occasion or the same time?
No, he happened to be in court with me. We were, again, challenging the court, and he was there with me, and we were advising each other. And it's just one more thing that the judge took exception to, and the first thing your lower court judges will do is ask you what your name is. And
well, that means he's just trying to get jurisdiction, because you got to have first, middle, and last name, and then you got to have a street address, and you got to have a city and a county. So you got to have a birthday. In order, they got to have three things before they can get jurisdiction. So did you give them all those three things or not?
No, we did not initially.